Before this video begins, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Okay, let's get into the review. Hello and welcome. Today we are inside of a 2022 Hyundai Santa Cruz SEL. I would like to thank Hyundai of Newport, located in beautiful Newport, Rhode Island, for allowing me to review this vehicle. Their link is down in the description below. This truck is powered by a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, producing 277 horsepower along with 311 pound-feet of torque. And this also does have all-wheel drive. This vehicle does achieve 19 miles per gallon city along with 27 miles per gallon on the highway. And this does have an 8-speed shiftable automatic transmission. Alright, so on the outside of this Santa Cruz, it definitely looks unique. Not too many vehicles look like this, so it looks a little bit like the old age Honda Ridgeline. It also has a similar body style, a unibody style, as the old Chevrolet Avalanche. I think it looks pretty cool in my opinion. It definitely looks a bit funky, but it definitely has some road presence. The front end of this looks very similar to a Hyundai Tucson of the current gen, and I think it looks really, really good. You do get full LED headlights, and those blend seamlessly into the grille design by being what the chrome grille design is. This vehicle does ride on some 18-inch alloy wheels with some 245 width tires. I think the tires look pretty good. They're mostly gloss black with a bit of a second tone of what looks like aluminum trim in those wheels. You do get some different wheels on the higher limited trim, but I think these look just fine. And they look pretty rugged, which is nice. This truck does have some subtle roof runners, and it does have a tow hitch. This is capable of towing about 3,500 pounds. This truck does have 8.6 inches of ground clearance and about a 1,400 pound payload. On the exterior, there are also heated door mirrors in here, and LED fog lights as well as tail lights. And for safety features in this Santa Cruz, you do get blind spot monitoring, lane departure warning with lane keep assist, and emergency braking. In the back of this Santa Cruz, you do get a moderate-sized bed back here, along with full coverage from a bed liner, and you get this nice security bar. You can keep stuff in there. This is a soft power dampened liftgate, so that is damped, so it opens very soft and easily. And back here it's well protected. You do have some bed lights back here, so that's very nice, along with the storage area back there. And you could get definitely like a tonneau cover back here if you so choose. And this bed itself, the bed door, it is very, very light and easy to close. On the inside of this Santa Cruz, the first thing you see is you do actually get some side skirts for the front and rear doors, so that is very welcome to have. Once you get in here, you do get some soft padding right here for your elbow rest for the driver, and the passenger has the same design on the door sill. But the rest of this is actually hard touch material, so it's built a little bit more like a work truck, which means it's not necessarily going to be very luxurious inside of here unless you go to a higher trim. In the limited trim, it is a lot more of a premium driver's truck than it is a work truck. So inside of here, you do get a black gloss trim, and that stretches throughout the driver's door, throughout the dashboard, and across into the passenger door. That's also highlighted with some nice plastic chrome trim, and below that, there's a carbon fiber-esque plastic design. And that's just hard plastic through here, but it does add a nice little design feature that cuts through the whole front as well. And you get a plastic chrome door handle right here. You do get power mirrors in here, power locks, power windows. The front two are one touch, so that is very good. And you also get your rear window disabling button. You do get a nice little storage bin right there, and you get about room for 2 to 3 cups down here. This steering wheel is definitely a unique design. So it has a nice leather wrapped steering wheel in here, which is nice. This is SEL, slightly higher SEL trim than others, including the larger engine, and this is definitely included, a nice leather wrapped steering wheel. It does have some nice gloss black for your voice controls and audio controls. And then over here you also have your phone control and your mode controls. Here on the right you can also control your auto stop start, and you can also change your lane departure modes. The wheel itself is pretty pretty good to drive, honestly. It has some very nice pointy bolsters at 10 and 2. I like that. Down below, you could steer like this. It's not really going to be too common of a driving position, but I typically drive about here anyway, so this wheel does suit me very well. I like it. And you do get some paddles on the rear of this. And these are plastic, but they're pretty large, and they feel very nice to use. You get a full digital gauge cluster in here with a very interesting look to the gauges. They look to be like a metal type of design with some interesting little lines that cut through those. I think they look pretty cool, and they have some nice blue halo effects for some of the design features in there. On the left, you do get your speedo, the right, your tach, and then in the center, you can configure what you would like that to be with your button right there on the steering wheel. So drive info, user settings, tire pressure, or you could change it to a lot of different other things. For your turn stocks in here, and your wiper stock, they are pretty interesting design. So they are actually part matte plastic, and they also have a nice bit of gloss black. I think it looks pretty classy and interesting for this truck. To the left of your driver's wheel, you do get your trunk light control, traction control button, and your brightness settings for your digital gauge cluster. To the right of that, you do get your center console, finished completely in gloss black. I personally don't love gloss black just because it attracts so many fingerprints and dust particles, but it does look classy. It looks better than if it were to be just a matte black. Center console right there. You do get 2 climate vents up here. You get dual zone automatic climate control in this vehicle, which is definitely present because this is a mid-trim SEL. You do get a recirculate feature in here called diffuse, which is interesting. You do get a 12-volt port in here below that, along with 2 USB Type-A ports, and you get a wireless charging pad down in here for your cell phone. And you can turn that on and off right there. For your shifter, you do get a traditional shifter, with the button is actually located on the front, and you get your typical park, reverse, neutral drive, and you get your shiftable mode, like so. And let's check out the rear backup camera in here. Okay, so it is a medium resolution. It's adequate. And it does have turn lines that do move with the wheel, so that is very nice to have. For your touchscreen in here, it is very large, and it is finished in a matte screen, which is nice because it won't show as much glare when it's in bright sunlight like now. It is pretty bright and easy to see. This touchscreen is very, very responsive, so that is very welcome to have, and that is Hyundai's Blue Link system. Next to your shifter, you do get a diff lock button, you get auto hold, electronic parking brake, hill descent control, and if you push this button here, you can turn on your cameras at any point, which is a very nice thing to have access to. For drive modes in here with this switch here, you have normal, sport, smart, and snow. So that is very cool that you have all those modes just in this, not a low-end truck, but just a more basic trim of the truck. You still get all those features. For the front seats in here, they are cloth, and they have a nice little geometric design running through each of them, the driver and passenger. And those are actually heated seats, with 3 levels for each. You do get a couple of blank buttons between those though, so you do know just about there that this is not the highest trim truck. Otherwise, I don't see any blank buttons up front though, which is very nice to have. And also, I forgot to mention, you do get some rollers up here for your audio system, tuning, and your volume. I have not seen that very often, and I think it's interesting. Gives some nice character to this truck. For your center armrest, it is very firmly padded, but it is a pretty deep storage area. I wish it went forwards a little bit more. They probably could have put those buttons a bit further up, but yeah, it works. There are no ports in here though, which is alright since you do get 3 there. For your glove box over here, it is very large and spacious, so that is good. And it is damped. You do get 1 power sunroof in here, so that will tilt and slide, and those controls are right here. And you do get your airbag sensors right up here, so that is very nice to have. Especially as this does have seating for 5, and people will typically fill the seats in this. And in the mirror, you do get some garage door buttons right here on the bottom, so that is very nice to have. And that looks to be an auto-dimming mirror. And let's hop in the back seat and check that out. In the rear seats of this Santa Cruz, I am 6 feet tall with the seat all the way back, and I still have enough room. My knees do start to push up against the back of the driver's seat, but it's comfortable enough, and I have lots of good footwell room. For the windows back here, they are very large and placed right next to you, so they are very, they go almost all the way back to where your head would be, so it's really not too claustrophobic back here. You do not get any rear climate vents back here, or charging ports. You would get that in a higher trim, such as the SEL Plus or the Santa Cruz Limited. The door panels over here, they are pretty basic. They are completely hard plastic. There is no soft touch material. It's built a little bit more like a work truck back here. It's not meant to be a luxury truck in this trim. This trim is just above the base model. You also do not get a center armrest back here, so that definitely shows how it is a pretty low trim truck. However, headroom back here is adequate. I still have about 3 to 4 inches of headroom above me. And there is a single sunroof back here, so that is powered, and it lets in just enough natural light back here. The rear window back here also does have a manual slide function, so you can open it up like so, and that'll be nice for summer days or just any time you want some extra fresh air back here. Alrighty, that'll just about wrap up this review of a 2022 Hyundai Santa Cruz SEL. This with the larger 2.5 turbo engine. I think this is a pretty interesting package. It does have a lot of nice features in here, and besides having cloth seats and a lot of hard touch materials, it is really not too bad. For $39,000, I think this is a pretty good value. It has a lot of interesting features. And I would once again like to thank Hyundai of Newport in Newport, Rhode Island for allowing me to review this truck. And make sure to check out my POV drive video, which will be coming out soon on my channel. Alrighty, thank you for watching, and take care.